The Fairhope Colony Cemetery was established in 1895 by the founding fathers of the Fairhope Single Tax Corporation when they recognized a need and established the cemetery on a beautiful site located at the corner of Oak Avenue and Section Street in the city of Fairhope. The cemetery, selected as a burial space for members and lessees of the Fairhope Single Tax Corporation, has a rich history beginning in July 4, 1895, when the colony recorded their first death, when Mr. John Hunnell of Greene County, Pennsylvania, was found in the early morning by a fisherman face down in the water on the edge of Mobile Bay, where he had gone to bathe. Later on the same day, a picnic was arranged for, a coffin was made from the boards of picnic tables, and Mr. Hunnell was laid to rest at this site at sundown. Today, the cemetery is provided oversight by the Fairhope Colony Cemetery Committee of the Fairhope Single Tax Corporation. In the spring of 2006, the Baldwin County Historic Development Commission designated the Fairhope Single Tax Corporation's Fairhope Colony Cemetery as a historic site in Baldwin County. The site, dating back to the latter part of the 19th century, is directly situated across the street from the Fairhope City Hall Civic Center. The Fairhope's Colony Cemetery has a rich history dating back to the early founding of the community of Fairhope and serves as an important reminder of Fairhope's distinguished and rich past. Today we're here with Michael Arnold, chairman of the corporation's Colony Cemetery Committee, to hear a little bit about what the designation means to not only the corporation, but to the Colony Cemetery Committee. Mr. Arnold.
Good morning, David, and good morning to everyone that might be viewing this. It's a wonderful opportunity to be here today. It's a beautiful day to be out, and it's delightful to have the cemetery dedicated as a historical site. We feel like the Cemetery Committee has worked with the County Commission and the Historical Commission on this project, and it's a marvelous opportunity for the residents and the people in Fairhope to actually see the history of the founding fathers of Fairhope. You could take a virtual walking tour and recognize the founding fathers of Fairhope in this cemetery. They date back, as you said earlier, to the turn of the century, around the 1900s and a little bit earlier. But if you were to drive down the city streets in Fairhope, David, and then come into the cemetery, you would recognize E.B. Gaston's grave, as in Gaston Avenue, or Dr. Greeno, as in Greeno Road, and Mr. Belangi. But the various founding fathers of the city are represented here, along with Marietta Johnson. There's a great deal of history here that's important to the city and important to the Southeast. The Marietta Johnson School of Organic Education is renowned, and we feel like that the placement of this marker and this designation is extremely important to Fairhope and to Baldwin County. And we, the Cemetery Committee, appreciate the support of the Single Tax Corporation and the County Commission in getting this project accomplished.
Well, you know, Mr. Arnold, I know that this site in itself is only one of a handful of historic sites designated by the county's Historic Development Commission. And I know that y'all are very proud. It's a beautiful site. Y'all have done a fantastic job at preserving it. And it's another reminder of the tremendous and beautiful history of the Fairhope community and its people. And we appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Thank you all.
Also with us today is Jim Mitchell, the chairman of the Baldwin County Historic Development Commission, to tell us a little bit about what this cemetery went through to get this historic site designation and what others can do if they have historic property. Chairman Mitchell.
Thank you, sir. This is a wonderful thing for our county to be able to recognize these historic sites, these historic cemeteries. They came to us and asked us about it in January of last year. We said we thought it was a wonderful idea. We began to work with them to get it done. And here it is. I'm so proud to see this sign up so that people will know about this cemetery. Other cemeteries in the county can do the same thing. If you have a cemetery that's more than 50 years old and you'd like to talk to the Baldwin County Historic Development Commission about it, please come to see us. Our meetings are at the Fairhope Courthouse. You can call there and get information if you like. If you would have an opportunity, come by and look at the cemetery, see the sign, and see the reason why we are proud of it.
Well, Chairman Mitchell, you know, as the current chairman of the Historic Development Commission here in the county, you know, a lot of folks just do not know that they can obtain such a distinguished designation from a public body such as y'all's. And can you tell folks just how they can contact you if they want to obtain this designation or preserve historic sites in the county? Your phone number and just a little bit about you know, your public meetings and where they can just get additional information.
The Baldwin County Historic Commission meets the second Tuesday of each month at the Fairhope Courthouse. The secretary there at the courthouse has the information and the forms necessary to make application for something like this. The phone number there I don't have with me, but you can call me at 928-0108, and I can guide you to where you need to go to get the information you might need.
Well, Mr. Chairman, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate all the work that you and the Historic Development Commission's members devoted with the Colony Cemetery Committee on this important designation, and we thank you for your time. Situated next to the Fairhope City Hall Civic Center, the new historic site, the Fairhope Colony Cemetery, is important to Fairhope's history. It dates back to a time when Fairhope was founded, and part of preserving that history remains the task of the Honorable Mayor of the City of Fairhope, Mayor Tim Cant. He's here with us today to talk to us about what this historic site designation means to the Fairhope community. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, David, for having me here today. And, you know, this is a great day in Fairhope. We're actually marking a historic site, and I think it's one of 3 currently in Baldwin County. And hopefully we can designate more sites throughout the city of Fairhope, because this is kind of where the early settlers came, because you had to come across the water to get to Baldwin County if you were on this side. And I understand that the cemetery ended up here in this particular location because it was outside of town. You couldn't, back then we didn't have bridges and a lot of roads, so you had the gully just past this. So literally speaking, they said when they actually put you down, at the end of the day was at the end of town, which was right here where the cemetery was founded.
Well, you know, Mayor, a lot of folks have certain connotations about cemeteries, but you have a beautiful site located right next to y'all's City Hall and Civic Center, and I know the city is proud of this designation. And like you said, Fairhope has obtained a distinction that is very, very few in number in the county. This is only really the 3rd historic site that was either designated by the county's Historic Development Commission or the County Commission. And it's something I know that you're proud of and the community of Fairhope is. We appreciate your time and all the leadership you've provided here in Fairhope. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, David, and it's really a tribute to the Single Tax Corporation, our founding fathers, that actually made all this possible. And I'd like to say thank you to the Single Tax Corporation for making this happen.
The official designation of the Fairhope Single Tax Corporation's Colony Cemetery as a historic site would have been unattainable without the efforts of the County Commission. Here with us today, the County Commissioner residing in the Fairhope community, Commissioner David Ed Bishop, was instrumental toward working with the Baldwin County Historic Development Commission in the designation of this historic site. Today, we're here to ask Commissioner Bishop just what this historic site designation means for his community here in Fairhope and for all Baldwin County. Commissioner?
Well, David, you know, this site right here is really the history of Fairhope. In essence, the first leaders and many leaders since then are buried here. And if you go back to the founding of Fairhope as a single tax corporation in the 1890s, which is over 100 years ago, Dr. Greeno, who was the first mayor of Fairhope, is buried here. Marie Howland, who was the first person that started the library here, came here in the organization of the colony, single tax colony. She's buried here. The founder of the organic school is buried here. So, you know, the history of Fairhope really is people that are buried in this cemetery.
Well, you know, Commissioner, this site is very beautiful, as is all of Fairhope and the Eastern Shore and all Baldwin County, but You know, folks have different interpretations of cemeteries in themselves, and this site is just remarkably beautiful. And the community itself, the Fairhope Single Tax Corporation, and the city of Fairhope have done a great job of trying to preserve this site. Your efforts towards assisting the corporation with this historic site designation is something that'll survive on into the future, and we appreciate your time and all the work that you've done to help preserve a part of Baldwin County's past. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, David. I'm pleased to be a part of this. And, you know, I've lived here all my life, and I've seen a lot of history in the last 65 years right here. And so I'm pleased to know that this cemetery here is going to be designated a historic site today. And I'm thankful that we're recognizing history that's truly a part of this community.
You know, this historic site designation here in Fairhope at the cemetery is something that is relatively new in the county. And today we're here with the county's new county archivist and historian, John Jackson, to tell us a little bit about, if you have a site over 50 years old, some site of historic value in the county, contact Mr. Jackson and he'll help you out in trying to obtain whether or not you're eligible for historic site designation. But Mr. Jackson, can you tell us a little bit about what folks need to do and how they can contact you to learn more about this?
Certainly, in hopes of creating a more expanded site selection, we'd like for people to contact us at the Archives facility at 580-1897. In preparation for the county's bicentennial celebration in 2009, we would like to expand our presentation of historic signs at historic sites. So if you do have a historic site in mind and would like to find out more about placing a sign on that site, please give us a call. Number again is 580-1897.